And welcome to part 4 of the Mage Armour series. So in this episode we're going to look at Arcanist, which is currently probably the third best mage set that you can get. In terms of style, I think it's got quite a nice skin to it. These stars on a dark blue black background looks very nice. In part 3 we looked at Apprentice. I said that in the early days of the game that was the best set out there, and eventually the Elemental Lord's Regalia set was released with a set of weapons specifically designed for it, and at the same time as that, Arcanist set bonuses were changed and a weapon set, the Forbidden Knowledge set, were released to synergise with the new skills on Arcanist. What I'll do is take a quick look at the set bonuses. So for a 2-piece bonus, our Arcane Bolts do 100% more damage, 4-piece is 100% more damage to your primary target, and the 6-piece bonus, when you cast Blink, Time, Warp, Paradox or Singularity, you generate a Shard of Frozen Time. When you've got 10 of those, they're automatically used up. You take 90% less damage, you do 300% more damage, you're immune to crowd control effects, and that lasts for 9 seconds. And additionally, anything that you've got on cooldown will instantly come off cooldown. Now that synergizes very well with the Eridanus Staff from the Forbidden Knowledge set, because the bonus on that, when the cooldown of any ability is restored, we do a ripple dealing 4000% weapon damage to all targets in a radius. Now the 2-piece bonus for having both the weapons, when you're dealt a killing blow, instead of dying you're encased in a protective void walled for 6 seconds. That will instantly completely heal you, and you're not going to be taking any damage, but that can't occur more than once every 90 seconds. The tome Armour isn't particularly good. 100% more damage with deflected attacks. There's a big problem, I think, with deflected attacks. If we look at, say, our deflect rating here, deflected attacks do 60% of the incoming damage. Now let's consider a high level boss. That might hit you for 100,000. And we're only going to reflect back 60%, so that's 60,000. That tome, double that up to 120,000. But that boss has probably got 40-50 billion health points. So deflected attacks are, in my opinion, awful in the game. They need a big rework. So I said that this was king for quite a while, and the thing that knocked it off its perch isn't a nerf to any of the armour or weapon sets. What happened was some changes to the skills. So Singularity, that used to grant life on hit from pretty much all the hits it was doing, so you were basically immune to damage because you were pumping out loads of Singularity orbs into big groups of enemies and just sucking in tons of health. In addition to that, we've had changes to ability rate and to Alacrity. Now Alacrity is a background process that reduces the cooldowns on your skills as you're attacking things, and that basically got cut in half, and it's had another nerf since then as well. So that basically meant that Arcanist could not get its skills off cooldown fast enough to keep up the playstyle that made it king. At the time of it being king, the playstyle was basically spam as fast as you can to get skills off cooldown, recast them instantly, and that will keep healing you. It will build up your Shards of Frozen Time before the before this process had reset. So within 9 seconds you could rebuild 10 shards. You can't do that anymore, which means that you are extremely squishy. In the hands of a skilled player, which I certainly am not, you could probably push this up to around 130 to 140. I'm not playing this properly. Let's cast some of these skills. So what we see up here is that we're building these Shards of Frozen Time, so every time I'm casting one of these abilities we're getting a Shard of Frozen Time. So when that hits 10, then we'll have things, we'll be better off. So we're up to 6. So I'm only on 105 here. So there we've got our that was terrible. Not the way to play it, but just to give you an idea of how it plays. You're basically casting these skills to build up your Shards of Frozen Time in order to reduce the amount of damage that you take, and do more damage in the process. So that was probably a bit of a rambly video. Any questions or comments, feel free to put them down below, and we'll see you next time with the next set.